Good evening and welcome to the Kick Off. Joining me tonight at the table is co-host Stephen Plath.
Hey, Dean.
And guest Logan Tanzer.
G'day Dean, thanks for having me.
We're going to be discussing all things rugby league in the Bundaberg and Wide Bay area. So, putting you on the spot there, Logan. Rugby league, for you, where did it start and where has it taken you?
Well look, rugby league, so I'm a Brisbane boy, born and bred. Started in South Brisbane, so I played all my junior football at the East Tigers at the Holland Park there. I started when I was 5 years old. My dad was actually the president of the club and he's now a life member of the club there. So my family was heavily involved there and played all the way through until under 18s, all my junior football there. And then I had the opportunity to go and play my senior football and play Colts over at the South Logan Magpies and did a couple of seasons there. And once I was done there, I had the opportunity to go work away up in Gladstone and play in the Gladstone competition for a few years, which I played for Brothers. We won a few premierships up there, and then I met my now wife and moved back to Bundaberg and been in Bundy at Brothers since. So I think it's now my 8th year at Brothers in Bundy. So it's been a bit of a ride, taken me a few different places, many different people, but it's been really good.
I was coaching at the time and out at Brothers, and I got a phone call from a guy, and we were actually chasing up, we needed a couple of backs to be honest. And I got a phone call out of the blue, and a bloke called Logan Tanzer rings me up on the phone. And he's like, mate, I'm moved to Bundy, I'm looking for a run. Yeah, all right. Well, what position do you play? You're not a fullback by any chance? He says, no, mate, I'm a front rower. And then Legs in a previous life, he was quite a solid, large unit, you could say. Yeah. And come out, I just said, mate, right, 6 o'clock, come out to train, and the rest is history. So, Legs was around the club, has been ever since, and 3 premierships, 3 A-grade premierships,
Yeah, three A-grade premierships, yeah.
So, good club man too, as well, Dean.
Yeah. So you've been round Brothers, like you say, 8 years.
Yep.
You've held a few roles.
Yeah, I've had a bit of a mixed bag at the club. I've been a player, obviously, but I was the club president in 2019 and 2020. First year in, we won the premiership, obviously with Pluffy as the A-grade coach. And unfortunately, 2020 was the start of COVID, and that year didn't eventuate, which was a bit disappointing, but it was what it was. I think it was the best thing for the league at the time. So there was no football that year, and then obviously with my personal commitments, having children, I handed the reins over to yourself in 2021, and then over to Tempo. But no, I'm now the treasurer of the club, which it's good. Tempo and the committee is doing a fantastic job. I think the club's in a really good spot. We're very fortunate to have, the backing of the sports club and, great coaches and support staff and everything around the club. It's great to see, where the club's trended since I've been here. It's continuing to go upwards, which is brilliant. You can't ask for any more than that in a local club.
Like you say, you're a family man now. How's that going to affect your commitments going forward?
Oh, look, it's all about the great life of balance, I suppose. No, look, it's challenging at times, but my wife and my family are full on board with football, and they love it. I wouldn't say as much as I do, but they do enjoy it. And football's given us, especially this club, Brothers, is given us some of my greatest friends, and that's something I'm very grateful for. So
I think like over the years, like when the wives and the girlfriends get together, and I think that's something that Brothers do really well, is, they're all a pretty, tight-knit group, and that just makes it easier on the boys. Like, you know what I mean? They, I know that our wives go out a bit, Legs. They'll have a girls' night out and stuff, and the boys stay home and look after the kids, and then like the bus trip away on the weekend, we can sort of let our hair down for a little bit, So it's tit for tat. But that's one thing I was massive on when I come to the club to give Tempo a hand in 15, is getting the club into a position where people coming back to support the sports club as one, because they are our major sponsor. You know, you have your sponsors and whatever, but Brothers Sports Club are our main funding.
Yeah.
So it also brings camaraderie to the teams, and the wives get to know each other. They don't Sunday or Saturday at football isn't necessarily a chore. It's an outing because all the other kids are there. And mate, like you, a lot of the guys these days, they're all having babies, and I think we've had
families,
3 or 4
yeah.
this season already. Young families and stuff like that. But the women and the kids get together, and it becomes a whole family day. Back to the club, bit of a feed, home to bed. You know.
The front row at Salter Oval is just like a creche.
It
Well,
is.
pretty much,
It is.
yeah.
Everybody's there
Yeah.
with the little kids, and all the
No,
little
it is
grown-up ones are looking after them and running
absolutely.
after them.
Well, mine have come through too. Like I think Pacey in 2015 would have been 10, and Avril was younger, and they went through the same sort of thing. And now they're the older ones who are looking after all the players' kids who are having kids now that you're all getting a bit older, and families are coming about. But you know that's part of the game for me, and that's why I think, like you said, it's in your blood, and you sort of you love it that much. But that's how we grew up, I guess.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So what's your plans moving forward? You coming to the end of your playing career?
I think I'm definitely at the end of the playing career. I'm 31 at the end of the year, so you know I've got no more to accomplish in rugby league. I've enjoyed my time thoroughly, and I think it's probably not to move on to that next chapter, and maybe in that what I'm doing now in the treasurer, and continue to support the club in that way. Those roles are really important roles, and you need people in them. So I look at the future of Brothers and the younger players coming through. I want to be there to support them in any way that I can, so that the club, not just 5 years, 10, 15 years from now, is still going to be in the same place it is now. So that's probably the next part of my footballing journey is, more the administration and committee side of things, and helping the club through its next lot of hurdles as it brings on the younger generations.
So Legs, what you're saying to me is, I know you're playing reserve grade this year, and going and still playing quite well. Set up a couple of tries on the weekend, mate.
Just a couple.
Just a couple. But are you saying this year will be your last? Is that where we're going with the conversation?
Look, I think it's trending that way, Paddy.
Yeah.
It feels like it.
Okay, no, that's fine.
I think when you get to my age and you're not as focused on football anymore, there's other things you'd rather be doing. I think it means your time's up.
Bit of golf, bit of fishing.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
No, that's
spending
fair
time
enough,
with
mate.
the family. So look, I've played football a long time, since I was 5 years old. So I've had a good career, and it's time to move into other things, I think, now. So if we win a grand final, definitely hanging the boots up.
Hanging the boots up, mate. We'll just throw them in the trash can on the way out, eh?
100%.
All right,
I've
excellent
seen a few
stuff.
boots in that trash can.
Come back,
I've seen them come back out too.
Yeah.
So, as treasurer, you'll be aware of the support from the sports club itself.
Yep.
And they put a fair bit of money into the amenities.
Yeah,
I haven't been up there for a couple of years to see what they've done, but they've been doing some work around the place.
Mate, they most certainly have. So we've just had at the start of this year the new sheds and shower block built, which is phenomenal. The sports club are a massive supporter of ours, and obviously that's to encourage us, probably Brothers, getting some home games and moving some more football out there, which is what we want to see. I think every club in Bundaberg would love to play at their own home grounds. So that's probably something we'd like to move towards in the future. Now that we're getting the amenities, I think it's something we can look forward to.
Yeah. So congratulations to Strobes and his
and the crew, everyone at
and,
on the board of directors, and Ross, who's the general manager of the club. They do a fantastic job, and like I said, our club doesn't exist without them and their support. We're very lucky and fortunate to have them. So
it's been a long time coming, but they've bought the club back.
They have, they have. I think it settled on the 4th of May, just gone. So that's been a long time in the coming, and they've had that in the works for a while. So it's great that they've been able to do that, and it's really exciting to see what that's going to mean, I think it's going to be incredible for, not only just the rugby league club, but all the intra-club sports that are associated with brothers. I think there's a lot of benefits that are going to come out of that. So there's a lot to look forward to in the future, I think, for sure.
Yeah, when I was talking to Ross and Strawsy, I think about that, and Strawsy sort of said to me, well, at the moment where we're at, what it would be to pay down that debt of buying the land back is basically what they were paying in rent, sort of thing.
Yeah.
So it's a no-brainer, isn't it? The club was financially in the position to do so. I just think it's wonderful, like they had all that ground out there and financial troubles over the years. They sold off a lot of that ground to, well, it's Coles Kensington now.
Yeah.
But to be able to regain all that land and be asset rich,
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with that, It's only gonna, and as it goes on, you're putting your money then into your asset instead of someone else's pocket.
Yeah.
So, like for the generations coming after all of us are long gone, they'll be running around out there and the club will still be there. It'll still be in a good financial position. And that only goes all back into the community.
Yeah. Right. So you play in reserve grade.
Yep.
Getting quite a few under 18s coming through there. We've got some good young lads.
Yeah, definitely
helping out and then playing up in A grade.
Yeah, so it's been really pleasing to see this year. We've had, there's about 6 or 7 young lads that have graduated from that 18s group into reserve grade. There's a couple that are even in A grade as well, and there's even some out of that 18s group at the moment that have debuted through the year, like your Zeke Monktons, Mitch Sly. Mitch Sly played on the weekend, but are progressing through to A grade, which as a club means you're trending in the right direction. I think as a football club, if you've got your juniors are progressing through the grades to A grade, you're doing something right. And I think it's something we should be proud of. And like I said, those ones that are in reserve grade now, in the next 2-3 years, they're probably going to be in A grade as well. That's just the way it trends. But the club's heading in a terrific spot with the juniors, that not just in the 18s, the 16s, 15s, all the ones coming through our junior grades. It's phenomenal. So
it's hard to get a spot out there on Thursday, to be honest. Like you turn up training on Thursday.
The car park's full.
I take the daughter out for netball training, actually. Go and have a chat to the boys and then a quick schooner. But the car park's chock-a-block. Can't get a park. There's probably 10 to 15 teams trying to train on that one main field, and then all the rest are spread out down the back. Mate, there's a good future there, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, thanks for coming along, Logan.
Thank you very much for having me.
We're going to have a short break, and you can stay and talk. We're going to have a catch up with the QRL coordinator for Wide Bay and clubs coordinator Kim McIntosh. So we'll be having a quick break, and we'll be right back.
There's one name across our region that's synonymous with all things hospitality, Rum City Foods. And with more than 50 staff and 4,500 square metres under one roof, Rum City Foods stocks everything. They've got the lot. Paul's Milk, frozen products, packaged foods, dairy, bakery, drinks, chemicals, and all the hospitality packaging you need. Rum City Foods are a proud member of Countrywide Australasia. Find them at rumcityfoods.com.au or at their massive new premises on Commercial Street, Bundaberg.
Welcome back to the Kickoff, and we've got joining us now from Magnus Waters due to the wonderful technology here, Kim McIntosh. So welcome, Kim. And Kim is the Wide Bay and Teams Coordinator for the QRL. Good evening, Kim.
How are you?
I'm good, thanks. Now then, your job as coordinator, what does that entail and how's it going for you?
So basically my role is league and club coordinator for Wide Bay. We cover off 6 leagues, 2 referees associations, and currently 32 clubs and 33 clubs with the Wide Bay Bulls. So it's a big area.
Yeah. So you played a big part in getting the the Northern Districts up and running. They're looking as though they're sitting pretty at the moment. Is there a future plan for this to continue?
For the league tag, was it?
No, for the actual Northern Districts. You helped get an executive together so they could
Yeah, sorry.
so they could continue.
Yeah, no, well, yeah. Look, they still require a chairman. Neil is currently travelling around Australia. He's off having a little trip, which is really good. But yeah, I made a call to Celine and just thought, someone that's bubbly, that's really relevant and up in the sport, knows what the sport's about. Not that you need to know what the sport's about, but yeah, I just gave her a call and said, hey, I think you'd be perfect for the role. And she we talked through her options and what would happen and what she needed to do. And yeah, she took the role on, which is really good. And they still need more help, of course, but that's volunteering these days. Everyone needs a lot more support and help.
Yep, she presented very well last week on the show.
I watched that. You did really well.
Yeah. So I hear there's another league that's hoping to start up an all abilities competition, or come try day.
Yeah. So Wandai, they do their Wonder Wolves program, which is really, really cool. And they just do a little come and try session. So it goes for about 2 hours roughly, and they have I think the ages are 4 to 40. And they get the senior players from A grade, men's and women's, come in and run some skills and drill sessions with the kids and adults and participants, and just go through a couple of different, little drills and programs to walk them through and give them a little go at what's going to happen. So the plan is that one day, eventually, that they may have a club like Walk With Me. And, hopefully then those 2 little clubs then can participate against each other and have a couple of little carnival games so that, everyone's included in the competition.
Wonderful news. Now, you're involved also with the Northern Districts All-Stars, and they're running a competition. Can you tell us about the competition and how we can enter?
Yeah, so they're currently, they do every season an All-Stars event, which is really good. It's sponsored by Evolution Mining, and they do a brilliant job. And this is their second. So what they're doing at the moment is looking for a artist that can design an Indigenous jersey. And it's been actually trending on Facebook a little bit. It's been sent out everywhere. I think I've seen nearly every club in Wide Bay share it, which has been really, really good to see, and a lot of people tagging and posting it. And basically that person gets the accolades of designing the jersey, but they also get $1,000, which is really nice money to see. But I don't know if you've seen the apparel from the last couple of years, but they have been beautifully designed.
Yes, we had one here last week.
Hey, Kim, it's Plathy here. How are you? It's good to see you on the show.
Plathy, I'm good. How are you doing?
Yeah, going
thanks
all
for
right.
having me.
I just wanted to quickly touch on what's happening up there with the Marlins. I see the women's league team are back in the competition again this year. Do you know if there's any idea of maybe a men's team coming back in to play in the Northern Districts?
Yeah, so with the women's league tag, I can probably touch on that one because I'm coaching them this season and I'm also a player. Yeah. So we have a really strong group of girls this season. We've got currently 24, 25 ladies signed on, which is really good. And it's a really good mixture of, junior players and senior players. So I think we've got currently 9, 13, 14-year-old girls signed on. And let me tell you, they're quick. They can catch a ball, they can pass it, and off they go. So it's really nice to see that skill and talent here in Agnes.
Makes you feel old pretty quick, doesn't it, Kim, when the young ones come in?
I tell you, trying to keep up with them, is just horrendous. I'm like, okay, here's the ball, please run for me. So, they're a really great group of girls.
I see, you're actually sitting second on the ladder just behind Gingin at the moment. I know that Gingin side's got a lot of full-time when the BRL here in Bundy had a competition. There's quite a few ex-brothers girls that play on that side. How do you feel like you guys may go coming up against them next? Do you think you're improving enough to maybe give them a good run for their money?
Oh, look, I definitely hope so, but they're an impressive side, and that's shown in the last couple of years. So, but I think with the skills and drills that we've been working on at training and that, like, you know, I think we can definitely give them a run for their money. We are really looking forward to playing against them this weekend because it's been a few weekends since we played against them, and they're obviously the team that we want to beat. So, you know, if we can just hold our defensive line and just keep attacking, I think we'll go close to, you know, knocking them off their perch, hopefully.
Yeah,
They're
good
not
on
going to
you,
like me
Kim.
saying that. Sorry, Jinjin.
No, that's all right. That's what it's all about.
That's always the aim.
Yeah, well, that's right. You know, you're in it to win it, and if you're out there and you're not, well, maybe you shouldn't be out there. That's the way I look at it. But no, good on you, Kim. It's good stuff that you're doing up there, especially with that women's league tag. I'd love to in the future maybe see a proper competition come back into our region. I think with pathways going the way they are these days, that you know, these young girls coming up, you know, before you know it, we're going to have a full-time women's league competition at a national level. Queensland Origin, 2 games of Origin this year, I think it's a fantastic thing. So anything we can do to promote the women's game, I just think is really, really important. So, yeah, good on you guys up there, and well done.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. And speaking of promoting the game, there's a under-17s women's carnival coming up. Where's that, and how many teams are involved?
So that's going to be held at Salter Oval, and it'll be with our Rise Carnival that weekend as well. And from memory, it's 4 or 5 under-17 junior girls teams. So Wide Bay will have a team in that, Southwest, Sunshine Coast, Rockhampton, and Central Highlands from memory.
So it is at a rep level, is what we're talking about?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So generally these girls, your under 17 girls, have that next pathway to go up into under 19 Wide Bay or Bulls or for their local area.
Yeah.
So it's just a really good stepping stone for them to be able to go from 17s up into 19s and go into that statewide competitions in the next year.
Excellent, good stuff. No, well that'll be good to see. So, did Bundy actually have a Rise Carnival last year, Kim? Do you know, or did we?
No,
play
I think this is their first year
to host it.
No,
Yeah.
sorry.
You there? Sorry.
No, so this is our first year. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
So no, this is the first year that we're doing the Rise Carnival, and we're hoping that it'll be like quite a good success. So I think this season definitely will show us what can happen, and it's also for, you know, the Rise participants, it's also their stepping stone then into representative football as well.
Yeah, excellent stuff. Thanks, Kim.
Now, Kim, you have a new boss, Ben Aiken. Yes,
I do, yes.
have you received your spreadsheets yet? He's a bit of a numbers cruncher.
Oh, is he? I don't know. I haven't received any spreadsheets. We did have a interview or a little meeting on Friday.
Yeah.
And yeah, he seems like he's going to come in. He's going to, he's got some ideas about what he wants to do. I'm interested to see what he'll bring to the company and to the game and to grassroots football as well.
I'm sure he'll be a wonderful CEO for Queensland.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, thank you very much, Kim, for joining us tonight, and good luck with all your endeavours and getting the girls' team up and running, and in your own tag competition. Don't let them young ones give you the runaround. Yeah.
Well, it's good to talk to you, Kim.
No worries. Thanks.
And we'll catch up with you
Thanks so
sometime
much for
through the
having me,
season.
guys.
No worries.
Yeah.
See
Thank
ya.
you,
You will do. Thank you. See ya.
See ya. So that's talking to Kim McIntosh up at Wide Bay, up at Agnes Waters, the Wide Bay coordinator for the QRL. We'll just take a little break and come back and talk all things results and league tables.
local Better are your appliance specialists. With everything from fridges and laundry to TV, small appliances and much more. Plus, with a range of payment options available, you can buy now and pay later. Go local, that's better.
See Tagglevan's, your family-owned caravanning experts for the popular New Age caravan range. Walkinshaw designed and engineered for superior strength and reliability. Start your adventures today with a New Age caravan from Dale and the team at Tacklevan's to Calvin Street, Bundaberg.
Welcome back to the kickoff. Now we're going on to league results and the tables after the weekend's games. So we're starting off with the Northern Districts. There was a forfeit there from Gingin Hawks and the Miriamville Magpies. I don't know which team.
Yeah, I didn't hear too much out of
forfeit that one.
Yeah.
And then we got the surprise result, or maybe they've both been close teams.
I would say that's maybe a touch of an upset, mate. Yeah, to be honest.
So
what do you got there? You got third playing first
Yep.
on the ladder, and Avondale's getting them the boys by a point there. I think it was fairly late in the game.
Yeah, right at the end, I hear.
Yeah, so not seeing any vision of that. Did actually get to speak to a couple of the players back at the Royal. We were on our way home from Maryborough, and they weren't overly disappointed. I don't think. I think it was a really solid hit out. I think Paul Barrett, the coach at Avondale, is pretty happy with the way his boys played.
Yeah.
I think this Northern Districts comp's starting to pack up a little, to be honest. Well, I'm not sure on teams or if ISIS had any players out. I'm pretty sure Jake Thompson didn't play on the weekend. But yeah, definitely for Avondale to go up there to the Furnace and put on that display, mate, they're definitely on the up.
Yep, and take the points.
Yeah, absolutely. Awesome. It only takes one to win, Dino.
Yep. They got it.
That's right.
So, and then they had just the one league game, the ladies' league tag, and the Devils got up in that game against the Avondale Tigresses.
Yeah, right.
Them Avondale girls are mainly a young side.
Yeah.
So,
I think we spoke about that the other week. There's a lot of young girls coming through into that, and they're sort of just learning the game. And as we said, the ISIS have got quite a few that used to play in the BRL women's competition. That doesn't surprise me. That's that scoreline, unfortunately, for Avondale. But ISIS will be a good side, and like we spoke to Kim before, between ISIS, Gingin, and Miriamvale, I think the competition's going to heat up at the back end of the year.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And the league there is looking. ISIS is still 3 points clear.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely out on top of the, 5 wins from 6 games, only the one loss, and that was to Avondale. So, they're obviously the form team of the competition, and they're the yardstick at the moment for the other teams. I see the Sharks, they're moving along quite nicely. They've had a draw and 3 wins and only the 1 loss as well. So, closely followed by Avondale's really stacked up at the top of the leaderboard there. So with Miriamvale, the only team yet to win a game for the season, which is a bit unfortunate for them.
Yeah.
So, but they haven't been getting trounced either.
No. So that's looking like it's going to work out to be a really tight competition for that top spot. And when we thought earlier that somebody was going to run away with it.
Well, I definitely thought with ISIS coming back in and some of the quality of players that they'd signed, I thought they were well and truly in front of the competition up there. They are well and truly. I mean, on point on the ladder there, but with Avondale coming out and beating them, it just goes to show.
Throws a bit of a spanner in the works, doesn't it?
It does. But maybe. At this time of the year, you're sort of pushing through to the middle of the season. Sometimes a loss can be a good thing for you.
Definitely.
Teach, some of the younger guys that are in there with more experienced guys up at ISIS, teach them a few lessons. But I can't say anything bad about Avondale. To go up there, win by a point, that's all you need. and take the 2 points, puts them, right on the heels then of the Sharks for second place on the ladder. Well done to them.
Yep, and as we said on the Women's League tag, Gingin undefeated at the moment, sit at the top after 5 games with 10 points. The Marlins are 8 points behind them, and if they're playing them this week,
They'd be 2 points behind them.
Yeah.
They're only 1 game down. That's their only loss, I think, for the year, the Marlins, and they play this week, so that'll be an interesting contest.
yeah.
And then, ISIS, who are just starting to hit some form after we see that. And then, Avondale last on the ladder, but they're having a go, and that's the main thing, Dino.
Yeah. Sitting on the top of the league there is the Kingaroy Red Ants. They've only played 3 games. They've won 3 games, so there's
3 from 3, so they haven't lost yet.
And
Kingaroy, well, they played Bondi there on the weekend, 62-12, mate. So
wow.
that's a good, solid touch-up, if you ask me.
Yeah.
The Red Ants, Kingaroy's always been a really strong town for rugby league, right through their juniors. I know predominantly most of the South Burnett 18s come out of that Kingaroy area.
Yeah.
So that just goes to show they've always really been a quality side. I know that Waves Tigers go out there and play them in a trial match,
Pre-season job,
pre-season trial every year. So that's sort of a bit of a yardstick for their competition.
Good hit out.
Yeah. And what happened in the other game there? Sherby played Mergen, hey?
Yeah.
So had the Hornets get up over the Mustangs 72-16, that's quite a scoreline as well.
Yeah.
Sherberg, full of talented kids out in that area. But it's always a really good rivalry. I remember back when I was playing footy, and not that I played in that competition, but we'd have lead-up games and the A-grade would play after us in junior rep stuff. Yeah. And, pretty much the whole town comes across the bridge from Sherberg when they play Mergen, and the rest of Mergen shows up, and, they used to get into it week in, week out.
So they actually ran, it was their domestic violence round, so they've been running for that charity.
Excellent.
To raise awareness.
Yeah.
So that was.
Yeah, I think Brycey said he was going out there on the weekend for the domestic violence round. It's a really good initiative. I think that it's all these sort of things that we can use the game as leverage to bring in and work through.
And just get the message out there to people.
Yeah, that's right. It's all about making stuff known and making it known that there's services that can help people if they're in those situations.
Yep.
And to use the game to do that, the game's doing the right things.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Right then, so we now have gone to the Central Burnett, where we have some footage from them areas with the Mundubra Tigers.
Yeah, we've got the end scoreline there, 35-24, which I guess is, it's only 11 points. A few field goals kicked this week, Dean, which you don't see in
Not
in
too many.
comp very often, in the bush footy, but that's really good. But 35-24 to Gander.
Would have been a tough 40-up match, with that scoreline. It looks like you got some quality players running around in both those teams, especially the 6 for Mundubra. He looks pretty handy. So
there's a couple of good
there's a couple of young fellas
halfbacks
there
out
too.
there in both teams, and then in another game, Shawnee Collins was.
Shawnee Collins is out there playing in their Central Burnett for Eidsvold, which sort of lifts their competition. But I think Gander have always sort of been a bit of a yardstick. I think they've won the last few competitions out there. So I'm pretty sure they're going for three on the trot, if I'm correct. So, and Macca's coaching Mundubra, isn't he?
Yeah.
So, mate, I think Macca will take a lot out of that. 24-35.
Mate, I believe they only went out with 10 players.
Really?
Yeah. So, because they've got a lot of seasonal workers from the picking fruit, and they can't get away for the early game. So I believe they played with 10 men, and to get that close.
Well, mate, that's massive.
With 10 men, that's
it'll be interesting to see what the guys have to say after the game.
Yeah, that's a big commitment. So we do have some from Mitchell Thorburn. He had something to say after this game, so we'll catch up with that in a minute.
Yeah.
But
so in the
you
other,
can see there's not many.
Yeah.
There's not many players on the field.
No. Did we have any vision of the Monto Oddsville game?
I think we do have some vision of that.
He's a solid boy, the 8, the front rower there for Mundubra.
Yeah.
So, mate, well, look, if you go out there with 10 and then they can do that sort of things, mate, that's
pleasing. Very pleasing. That's that
6.
That's the 6.
Big
quality,
unit.
Yeah. He showed good turn of foot, good footwork.
Yeah.
Really toughed it out there today.
And this is
only having
Mitch
10
Thorburn.
to start with, but I'm really proud of the boys hanging in there for the 80 minutes. And really, we had our nose in front there. It was only the last 10 minutes we let them run away with it. So really proud.
The players that are short, they're working?
Yeah, we have a lot of Islander boys that are here for the citrus harvest. So the 1 o'clock game caught them off guard today. So yeah, they missed out.
Different game to side?
Yeah, it was a different game to side. A lot of youth in it. They're always hard to beat. Doesn't matter what side they put on the field. They always seem to contest right till the last minute, like they did today.
Well, the next biggie between Gaynor and Mundubra is the Citrus Cup.
It is. Looking forward to it. Can't wait. Hopefully we can get all the boys back on board and take a strong team and really put it to the Gaynor team.
A lot of penalties in the first half, both sides.
Yeah, there was a lot of penalties. I think the speed of the game really caught our team off guard. So, yeah, we were trying to slow it down as much as we could, and we probably pushed the issue a few too many times there in the first half. But try and fix that up.
How do you reckon the game went today?
We certainly made it. We certainly made it hard for ourselves today. We gave a lot of penalties away, which didn't help us. We were just defending, and you can't win without the ball, and just silly penalties. But we ended up getting the win, which is good. And yeah, we certainly earned it today. Went the hard way around. Credit to Mundubra having a few short numbers, but they definitely gave us a run for our money today.
You're short a few players. This is a different lineup.
Yeah, today we were out with 2 normal captains, Tom Gemmo and Jay Pearce, and yeah, we had a few younger boys today. We got a really young side. A lot of us are only 20 in that, so it was good to get the win today with a lot of fellas out, and yeah, we certainly earned it today, and yeah, we went the hard way around certainly to get the win. So.
Yeah, it was a completely different game to what, say, the first game that Gaynor played here against Eidsvold. It was a very hard game. This, with the penalties and the lost ball, just didn't seem to, wasn't the same team.
Nah, it certainly wasn't. I think we just got very frustrated. It's not usually like us. Sometimes we do get a bit frustrated when we hand over the ball a bit and give us a few penalties away. But today we certainly, yeah, we definitely made it hard for ourselves. Like usually we're a fairly different side, and different to our first game. We're very disciplined, and yeah, we just got to change a few things, and yeah, we'll be back on track.
Yeah, you wouldn't have made the coach too happy. I can see what training's going to bring to you on Tuesday night.
Yeah, certainly Matty doesn't have the best of nerves at the good times, but we certainly would have had him up on his seat today. So yeah, we'll be back at training, and certainly we'll be getting ripped into a bit about our discipline.
One thing I've noticed about both teams, why are they lifting legs?
I don't know. Today I did notice it a bit more compared to our other games. I think today I was just more fatigue, a bit earlier game in the sun. Usually we're playing in the dark, and the night time she's a bit cooler, but today certainly fatigue was a thing. A bit hotter out in the sun, a bit of tempers getting out there on the field, and yeah, I just think there was a bit of frustration out there too in them tackles.
Right, the next big game, State of Oranges.
Yeah, definitely, it's the game of the year. Everyone comes back for it, and yeah, Gaynor versus Mundubra. I don't think there's a better game that I've ever played in, and yeah, it's certainly one to play for, and yeah, it's good when you win it. So hopefully we can win it. I think it's in 2 weeks' time, so it'll be certainly a good game.
Oh yeah, thanks.
Yeah, too easy.
So that's the Mundubra Gaynor game. some pretty good football there, and a mighty effort from Mundubra if they've gone out with
10 men.
With 10 men.
Yeah, that's, mate, to get that close, they must have played some really good footy.
I think they'll take a lot out of that. If you can get that kind of scoreline, if you're starting a game with 10 men, that's pretty impressive, and it shows a fair bit of grit about a team and their determination. So it'll be interesting in that next game where young Gibbsy said the state of origins, state of oranges, I should say. When they all come back, he said it'll be interesting because they're at the top of the ladder up there together. So looks like that'll be an interesting one.
Yeah. Mitch Thorburn, as he said, they started with 10 and must have got a couple late from work, but that's when the fatigue sets in. He actually said that they ran away from him at the end, but to stick it out, he was proud of them. Imagine that scoreline could have been anything, so with a full quota. So well done to them boys.
We also had some vision of the Mondo Roos and Eidsvoll game. Sean Collins showing a bit of class in this game. I think he's gone in for 3 tries and laid a few on, and he got one. It was an intercept. Thought it was going to get caught, but
it's like Shawnee Collins.
All of a sudden the arm shot out, and the fella chasing him stopped suddenly.
Sean Collins is a quality footballer, mate. Queensland resident, stuff like that. Queensland Rangers. He's played a lot of quality football all over the state. So for Eidsvoll to get him out there back to where his family used to play and stuff like that, I think it's a great thing for the competition too. But he's still got it, old Shawnee, eh? It's like he never stops. So he doesn't get old in a way, So. And the way he plays the game doesn't get old. He's still got good toe.
He's playing the same way he did 5 years ago.
I can guarantee you that. Was there talk that he has?
I think he gets. There he goes.
Oh yeah.
He's off. So he's off down there. This fella's catching him.
First time I've ever seen his knee strapped too, just quietly.
Yeah. Then the arm comes out.
There's the fend. Well done. Yeah. He's a hard man to tackle.
Very.
It is if you go front on and that fend comes out.
Back when he was playing the BRL and I was coaching against him, it was we had a bit of a call on him. It's actually bend your back instead of like if he's running at shoulders, which he normally would. It was bend your back and hit hip.
Yeah.
If you can get below the fend, you'll drag him down, no worries. Especially if he's trying to make room on the outside. That's how we used to try and combat it. Jaden Alberts did it really well because that was his tackling style.
Yeah.
Anyway, but mate, they've had a good win there, Eidsvoll, to be honest, 52-26.
First win of the season. So.
Oh, good on them. Well done, and obviously on the improve. So and I think who we got there, Monto. So Monto have had a win also.
Yeah.
So Gaynor on top from Mundubra on 6 points. So tight between the first two on the ladder, and then tied 2 points all.
You look at the points for Eidsvoll there. They've definitely got some strike and they're able to score points. It just seems maybe
they're lacking a little bit in defence.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting come the back end of the year to see what they can do.
Yeah, a bit more match fitness, loads, the more you play.
They don't have Shawnee every week because he's like dual registered when he goes home because his family's out there.
Yeah.
He goes out there.
When he can.
Is he dual registered with Wallaroos? Is he on a permit with Wallaroos?
Yes.
Right.
He's played for Wallaroos, and then there he's in for another there. Oh, he's made one there.
Try assist.
Yeah. So
Super coach points for that one, I think.
Yeah.
Well done. No, it's good to see the competition. Back to 4 teams out there, and it'll grow from there. Get more kids at the footy. They'll all want to play footy. It keeps competitions like that going. Yeah. I think it'll be, it's fairly spread out. I know out in the south and central Burnett, but is there an option to turn that into an 8-team competition?
For merging the two together.
Merging the two comps together, I just think that would be, you know. I mean, everything's sort of 2 hours apart. You know, the further north you go in Queensland, there's a lot more competitions that, you know, I know that Cairns competitions, they'll jump on a bus and drive 3 hours to play a game. You know, maybe that's something you could, like, I don't know if that's what they would want to do or if it's ever been spoke about, but imagine an 18 continents and just call it the Burnett competition.
Yeah.
Be interesting.
Probably a money factor with some of those clubs aren't too well off over that side, but maybe there should be a bit of funding somewhere away that could help.
Well, mate, you know, this is the sort of stuff you'd like for the people running the game to look at.
So
and maybe giving a bit more money back to the grassroots for certain things like that.
We'll have to get on to Ben.
Yeah, we'll have a chat.
So we didn't have any body speak for the Eidsvold Eagles, but we had somebody have a chat from the Monto Roos.
Okay. Shane Curtis.
Shane Curtis had a little chat, and
we'll see what he has to say.
When he.
Good game by the boys today. Very tough coming down here on Old Boys Day against Eidsvold. But boys put in.
Right, Shane, being captain, coach of Monto, you've had a long and illustrious career in football. Where'd you start, juniors?
Yeah, I started juniors at 12-year-old. At that stage, we were playing the Callide Valley League then. I think we moved down, Monto moved to the Central Burnett Division here, I think in 1986. So, followed down, finished when I was about 43.
You've been a Central Burnett rep. I think you made the White Bay at one stage. Did you go very far in the juniors?
Mate, just same Wide Bay schoolboys. Didn't get any further, unluckily, but it's just one of them things.
It's good to see a full team compared to last weekend.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, we had a few injuries last weekend. A few fellas were away, so we really haven't got too many blokes on the team. I think we've only got 22 on the books. So if we come down with 17, we're pretty happy.
Yeah, I think today was the match of the day. Eidsvold got over you for starters, but your fellas kept coming back. They didn't give it away.
Yeah, no, I was very proud. We let them get away early. I think they led 14-0 after, I think, the first 8 minutes. So after that, we come back. It was a great effort by our boys. We won the second half. So that's what I was most proud of,
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
So that's the game from out in the Central Burnett, and there's some good players out there.
Yeah, no, well done.
Some good football.
I think Shane just said, you know, it was a bit tough. They must have had Eidsvold's Old Boys Day there on the weekend. So good result for Eidsvold, you know, and especially a team coming back into a competition.
Yeah.
You know, that sort of result when you got all the old boys out there having a couple of tins, makes for a good night, doesn't it?
Local Battery are appliance specialists with everything from fridges and laundry to TV, small appliances and much more. Plus, with a range of payment options available, you can buy now and pay later. Go local, that's better.
There's one name across our region that's synonymous with all things hospitality, Rum City Foods. And with more than 50 staff and 4,500 square metres under one roof, Rum City Foods stocks everything. They've got the lot. Paul's Milk, frozen products, packaged foods, dairy, bakery, drinks, chemicals, and all the hospitality packaging you need. Rum City Foods are a proud member of Countrywide Australasia. Find them at rumcityfoods.com.au or at their massive new premises on Commercial Street, Bundaberg.
So, moving on to the Bundaberg Rugby League.
Yep.
West Panthers and Harvey Bay. Well, Harvey Bay are pretty much struggling at the moment. And
Yeah.
So-
Look, when it comes down to that in that A grade, I know that the league has sent a message down to Harvey Bay to see where they're at and what's going on down there. They've there was talk. I did hear that they've actually got 70 registered on the books.
yeah,
Harvey Bay for 2 teams. Oh no, that'd be 3 teams. Sorry, with their 18s. But yeah, like you know, they as you'll hear in the interview with their player here after the game, that you know they come in with a full team there into A grade, but had some injuries and ended up down to 9 and couldn't finish the game. It's very disappointing to see for a one-team town.
yeah.
I mean, where do we go? What do we do with these situations? You know, like I guess it's up for the league to sort out. But what would your suggestions be?
They're not going to do anything in A grade, are they? So
Yeah.
to give them some time to reset and what have you, I've probably let them go down into Reggies to see if they can
just play
fulfill
the
their
Reggies season out.
to fulfill their
One
Reggies
team.
competition.
Yeah, look,
but like it's it's where they're happy at and
Well, that's
and,
right, I
and
mean-
what the league comes up with. So
yeah, if they want to keep competing, I think that they need to have the players there to be able to do that. I know they've had a lot of injuries and they've had some blokes on suspension and stuff like that, but you know they forfeited the week before against Past Brothers.
Yep, they did. Yeah.
Their last, well, nearly all their outings have been well over 50 points.
Yeah.
There's obviously some type of issue there. I think it's up to their club to sort that out, but it's also up to the league to try and work with Harvey Bay to try and come up with a plan of attack moving forward. And
not push them into something that's not going to benefit them.
No, that's exactly right.
Yeah, so-
But yeah, okay, excellent, very good.
So started off. You could tell it was going to be a long day. That's a game I watched.
Okay, yeah.
So West's.
Well, West obviously been very dominant over them in that game. You can tell that straight away by the scorecard. So
There were 5 minutes late out of the dressing sheds, West, but
yeah,
more or less scored off the first play from the kick-off.
okay,
And then from the resulting Harvey Bay kick-off, they scored from that. So
okay. So it was
yeah, so
very, very one-sided
went on
affair.
for so we do have some footage of that. There was at no point did Harvey Bay give up until they got a few injuries,
Yeah, right.
and they only had a couple on the bench to start with. So
Yeah, so they didn't actually start with a full quota. Big bustling run
they had
there by Pongy.
they had 13 started the game. So
Yeah, right. Okay.
then there was a couple of injuries, and the people who went on for the injury got injured, and
Yeah. Yeah,
then
we can only go
with
south from there.
about 15 to go, I think they were down to about 10 men. Then another one went off, and then the 9 played on for a while, and then somebody else went down.
Yeah.
On about 10 minutes to go, and because there were below 9 players, the referee called it.
Yeah,
So,
fair enough. No, but on the other hand, Wes obviously, you know, you might think of it as a train and run, but you know,
yeah,
it's hard. I think.
it's hard on a game like that for your players not to think I'm going to score every time I catch the ball.
Yeah. You really got to go straight back to your game plan, your structure. Like
To try to make it about the individual and not the team.
Yeah,
which is what
yeah.
But it's hard to do in a game like that.
Yeah.
When you have big score lines, you know, at the end of the day, everyone's a competitor. If space opens up, you're gonna take it.
for it, aren't
So you know, even though you try and say to use those as training runs or whatever, sometimes that can be harder said.
Yeah,
Easier said than done.
Yeah.
But the Bay got a penalty laid on, and they decided to
I
go for
saw
goal.
them.
Got on the
Kicked goal.
scoreboard. Good on them.
That was the biggest cheer of the day.
Yeah.
You can see everybody in the crowd is behind them, hoping that they're going to come out of this and
Oh,
back
mate,
to where they were last year.
It's just a shame to come from, they're meant to be
Defending premiers.
defending their premiership this year, and to see what's sort of gone on. Not that we know too much information or reasonings behind things that happen, but it's just sad. Harvey Bay have been a really rock solid football team. You always knew you were up for the contest when you played them. I don't know what they've got coming through in 18s, whether their junior stocks are solid. I have got a funny feeling their 18s are on the younger side.
18s beat West 54-4.
Oh, there you go.
So they've got a few that must have a side there.
Yeah.
So,
right. Okay. Excellent. Very good.
But as I don't know whether any of the 18s
are old enough. I actually think they're on the younger side of that 18s. Like Blake's turning 17 and Blake's turning 18.
Yeah.
So
they're not.
Until they turn 17, the rules of the game is they can't play A grade or step up into reserve grade. So whereas like for other teams, like I know Brothers 18s this year, we're on the older side with our numbers. Yeah. So. Pretty one-sided affair there, Dean. There's not too much more we need to say about that.
Yeah, again, West are a pretty solid forward pack.
Very tough team to play against. Big, solid, not necessarily mobile in the forwards, but they play the game to the way they needed them. To what suits them. And they've always been very good at that. Yeah. They'll probably missing a couple this week. I think Big Dan Tanner and Josh would have been out at work, I think, this week. So, with those type of serious experienced players to come back in, they'll just keep going forward this year.
Yeah. So after the game, we caught up with West coach Corey Tanner.
Corey, what do you take out of that game?
Oh, I can't take too much out of it. It was more of a just to get the boys back on the paddock playing some good footy, and we thank Harvey Bay for coming down and playing, but it was pity that the game finished early.
The boys pretty much stuck to your game plan there. They were not too much white line fever.
No, I tried to make us stick to a bit more structure there. So our goal was to keep them to 0, but they got that last penalty at the end, so. Might be a couple of penalties on Tuesday night for the boys.
They sound happy enough, though.
What's that, sorry?
They sound happy enough.
Oh, yeah, they're definitely happy. They got some points. They travel to play footy like everyone, so.
Best on field for you tonight?
I'll probably say Connor Yates, our fullback, the young fella. He's a pretty special, talented kid, so it's good that he's playing good footy, and also introducing young Harry Brough into the side this week, so he played well at dummy half.
Thanks for your time, Corey, and good luck for the rest of the season.
All right, cheers, mate. Thank you.
Hard day at the office today, mate?
Yeah, it has been the last couple of weeks. Still a few players not able to make it, so we've called up a bit of reserve grade to fill the team, but that's just how it is. But we still turned up, and that's all we can ask.
Big effort, mate, even for those last 9 players that stayed on.
Yeah, that's it. You've got to give full credit to the boys once you've got plenty of injuries to even stay out there and have a go. I couldn't be more proud of them.
Coach, happy with how you've gone?
He's proud of us. It might be hard to believe, but he's proud that we still turn up every week, and even when we got 2 points on the board, hearing the opposition still cheering for us, that's what makes us turn up every week still.
Yeah, it was a big, the best moment of the game for you there. The crowd are really behind you, and hope you get sorted out real soon.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So that's what I mean. We've got people who don't even support us here still cheering us on. It's great. So yeah.
Best on field for you tonight?
Jakey, what was he? I think our second rower. Pretty good.
Well, all the best for the season, and good luck with your team, and I hope you're all up and running and winning some games pretty soon.
No worries. Thank you very much. Cheers, mate.
So that's that games, and there was the biggest cheer, and that noise in the background was the Harvey Bay lads just having a little.
Yeah, we're good on them.
Celebrate,
They've turned up. Well done.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So moving across on to the Magpies and across the waves, and the Magpies got the wood on them.
Yes.
On the waves.
It's a bit of an interesting outcome there. Very close game, 22-14.
Yeah.
I was. We made the trip down to Bruce, down to Maryborough to play Wallaroo, so I wasn't able to see these games on the weekend. You probably know a bit more about it.
I saw the first about 20 minutes.
Yeah, okay.
I don't think the Morn boys were playing.
Oh right,
Yeah,
so they had a couple of missing.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
And I didn't see.
I think Dremmer come back into the centres this week. Jensen.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that looks like.
He goes all right, that kid.
Yeah, he played for Wynnum in the Brisbane Rugby
Hill,
League last year. Josh Hill. He's a quality player. You can see he's got a big motor on him.
Yeah.
He gets their team going forward, and that's a big up for them. So they play off the back of his momentum.
Yeah,
But Waves got it over East last time, so I'm sure East were happy to get the win up this time. Looks like they've a hard fought match. I think they're missing a couple as well. So of their quality players, so it'll be interesting to see how the season progresses for both those teams.
Had a good run in the first half there.
Yeah, Corey Chapman, like he's a seasoned sort of competitor.
Yeah.
East looked like they really defended well too. Nice strong defence, and those larger bodies in the Fijian boys definitely help with that sort of stuff, and good kick return. So as I've continued to say, I think the whole season's looking really close together. Especially in the A grade competition. East are solid, Brothers solid, and Waves really solid. West, well, you just don't know with West, like they're a quality football side as well. So your top four teams are pretty much on par at the moment.
They are.
I mean, Brothers are undefeated, but they seem to be maybe the yardstick at the moment. But all the other teams. But then East come out against Brothers and it was a 16-all draw.
Yeah.
I know Brothers had a few out that night, but as the year progresses and teams get more and more match fitness, it's really going to come down to it at the back end of the year, I think.
Yeah.
But well done to East in this game. They got the job done, 22-14. Their coach would be very happy because Waves are a quality side. That they bring a lot to the competition. So well done to East.
Yeah, so we didn't have any chats with anybody after that, so we'll just move on to Wallaroos and Maryborough.
Wallaroos and Past Brothers.
Yeah.
Mate, we were at that game yet. We went down to Bruce, so did the trip. Reggie's had a win. The brothers Reggie's had a good win over Wallaroos 32-18, and then the A grade boys 44-10 over Wallaroos to Brothers. So I can definitely, from the first time we played Brothers, we played Wallaroos, I can see the improvement in that Wallaroos side.
Yeah.
As we said, no Sean Collins, he was out playing Forwardsville this week, but I think the scoreline maybe flatters Wallaroos a little bit. Both of the Wallaroos tries sort of come off maybe loose errors from Brothers, Blake swooping on a ball and running to get over the paint. Brothers, another classy performance, if you ask me.
Well, it's been hard for the last two teams to go down there. I was
Wallaroos are coming off 3 straight wins.
Yeah.
They beat Harvey Bay and Harvey Bay, and then East at home.
Yeah.
And they beat West. No, they beat West, and then they beat West first, and then they beat East.
Yeah.
So 3 straight wins. It was spoke about, I know, during the week about the Brothers boys going down with the right attitude and what Wallaroos can actually do to you down
when
there.
you get down there, yeah.
They're a very tough, gritty team, Wallaroos, especially down there. You've got to be on your game to beat them. It's that simple. They can, there's plenty of quality within their team.
Yeah.
And they've got a very young team as well. So, I think behind Maurice Blair, who's
Yeah.
got
He's
the
doing a
reins
great
at the
job.
moment, I think
Great job.
their club's trending in the right path.
direction. Yeah, definitely.
You know, I think they're going to be, you know, a quality team in the next couple of years. I think that shows. And,
definitely.
And they're able to hang in there with some of the top quality teams. It's just, you know, those 80-minute performances that probably get away from them. So
yeah, I think there's a couple of sort of special mentions there. Matt Craven had a wonderful game. The two brothers.
yeah, it was good to see.
Young, the most junior, young Mitchy Sly. It wasn't his debut game, but got to play his first A-grade game with his brother.
Yeah.
Which was something special. The whole family come down to watch it, and they both played really, really well. So good on them.
Good family memories.
Yeah, for sure. It's always good to have a run around with your brother if you ever get the chance. So yeah, young Tom Sly's come back to Bass Brothers to have a run. I'm pretty sure he was. They both at one stage were Crossway Juniors.
Yeah.
Mm.
Mitchy's back from he's been having a bit of a stint in the Q Cup. Is that right, Lodes?
Yeah, I think he played a few games for the Mackay Cutters.
Yeah.
Last year, and he's a quality player. He showed that on the weekend.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's a little bit off his match fitness, hasn't played in a little while, but I don't think it'll take that long to get him back.
He was breathing heavy after that long field effort, and I still think Tom Cronk did most of the work on that try, to be honest. But it's good to see Tommy out there. I do believe he's actually on his way to Great Britain, over to England.
Yeah, England to play rugby union.
Yeah, later in the year after our season finishes, he signed a contract to play union over there. So, wish him all the best at the back end of this year. But you know, as he said, these first grade games here will have him in good stead. He'll be hitting the ground running once he gets over there and gets into the work. So, yeah.
Very good. So. Under 18s, reserve grade, sorry. Yeah, Western Harvey Bay was the forfeit.
Yep.
Magpies got over across the wave in reserve as well. So
that's a good day out for these Magpies.
Yeah.
Across the waves were on top of the table, but that loss there, I think, promotes Brothers back up to the top in reserve grade.
It does.
Yep, they're 2 points in front after the win against Wallaroos. So, as we said earlier, 32-18 past Brothers had a win, but the Magpies, that's a really, really solid performance. The first round game against Across the Waves, Waves actually kept them scoreless, I believe.
24-0, I think it was.
24-0, so that's a decent
big
turnaround.
It is.
Yeah. So, once again, and this is what I'm saying, even the reserve grade competition is very, very tight and very close, which is good for the game around town.
Yeah.
Excellent.
And under 18s, South Burnett still showing that they're going to be a force in the under 18s.
Most definitely, that's a great win.
32-6 against the Waves.
Was that in town here or was it out at Kingaroy?
I'm not sure where that was because I wasn't.
Be interesting to know just on you know where that is. You know, Waves are probably a bit better side than that. I would have thought from some of the stuff I've seen them do at the start of the year. But well done to South Burnett, 32-6, great outcome for them boys.
And like we spoke about, the Bay beat Panthers, so they have got some 18s of Harvey Bay,
and that's a solid scoreline, 54-4.
Yeah.
Congratulations to the Harvey Bay boys. It would be interesting to see age-wise if any of those guys were keen or are looking to move forward and push into reserve and A grade, or whether they're allowed to yet. But really, really good result there for the Harvey Bay under 18s. Yeah. And after a forfeit and Reggie's and a flogging in A grade, that's something to go home and have a beer about, isn't it? You know, you got 1 from 3 for the weekend, and that's a quality win.
Mm. So that's all the games and the results. Tonight's tie brought to you by Queensbury Amateur Rugby League Club, my team that I used to play for.
Still got that one, Dino. Well done.
This is my my dad brought this last time we were over.
Okay.
And it's like 2 years since we lost him.
Oh yeah.
And since he's gone, the club's built. The team has built a new clubhouse.
Yeah, wow.
And it was nearly 70 years involved with the club. He's
real stalwart of the club.
president.
He was, Dean.
He's president for life. And he's the
life member.
He's all that. Yeah, and they named the bar the Brian Allsworth Bar.
So excellent. Congratulations, well done. That's a good thing. One day I have to get back over there for a couple of pints, mate.
So if anybody's ever in Yorkshire, and go to Queensbury, get to the Queensbury Rugby League Club and have yourself a beer.
Yeah, excellent.
But back on rugby league, and we're talking about West and some of the juniors they produced.
Yeah.
There's one, Zach Laibert,
making his NRL
debut this week for the Cowboys.
Yeah, following in his brother's footsteps. Cole's had a couple of games in the NRL. I think this is fantastic.
He's played in a World Cup as Kyle.
Absolutely.
As international in the.
Absolutely. But Zach is still young, still probably a bit green. It's really good to see him getting a go. I know he played a couple of trials for him and really stood out this pre-season. And to come into that top 35, and he's been playing really quality footy with the Blackhawks. He deserves his shot, and I just want to wish him all the best. I find it funny, we've got two Bundy boys going around for the Cowboys this weekend.
Yeah,
Cohen Hess and young Zachy Laibart. Yeah, so they've, quality sort of family, the Laibarts. I actually played a bit of footy with Mick, their dad back in the day. And believe it or not, going down the sporting path, I'm near on positive that Zach and Cole's uncle actually played for the Socceroos.
Mick's brother, yeah.
Yeah, Mick's brother, Stephen, wasn't it? Stephen Laibart. He was a defender for the Socceroos. So he's obviously good sporting blood in the family.
Yeah. So if you're walking around town and you see somebody with a big smile on their face and can't wipe it off, it's probably Mick. He's proud of his two boys and what they've done in rugby league.
And let's just hope that Zach has the debut he probably deserves. So congratulations to him. Well done, young fella. Get up there, rip into him, and enjoy it, I guess.
Well done.
Yeah.
That's all the football covered for this week. So we will be back next week with the kickoff, and hope to see you all. Thank you. Good night. Thanks for coming.
Thank you very much, Dave.
Good to see you
Logan.
again. Thanks, Logan. No problem.